Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, the show here. Dork Dad, Adrian here. Alright, so the series is over. I was going to do a review of the series, but I decided to, I think I was going to recap the last 3 episodes. But when I started with episode 4, I thought to myself, I need to talk about this because, man, it's pretty bad. Anyway, I have notes this time, so for all the people that wish I had notes, for our viewer, here we go. So, first off, this was terrible. So, we had Obi Wan getting in the fight with Vader, the fire. That didn't do too much, and it was a pretty interesting scene. It was just back and forth with Obi Wan and Vader in the Bacta tank. It was good, and I feel like the movie should have been more of that. But Obi Wan gets up, doesn't even finish his healing, and asking about Leia. But now I will say this: who knows what would have happened if it were any different? But Obi told Tala to watch Leia, but Leia told Tala to go help Obi Wan. So that helped Obi Wan, but then Leia got captured anyway. Whatever, man. But anyway, so they meet a guy, he's Ice Cube's son in real life. He hates Obi Wan. They get in a fight about how he does want to help them, but then he, without even talking to anybody, he talks about his own wife, and then he says, "Okay, I'll do it." I've seen other videos of people talking about this, but when I watched this myself, I had to I had to rewind it because I was like, did he? I was halfway paying attention, but I was like, did he? Was there more of a conversation that I missed? And it's just no. He talked amongst himself. Anyway, they go to the Inquisitorium, Sanctorium. I don't know the name, and it's just like, in Star Wars, where most things have shields, they're just like, well, how are we gonna get in? There's no shield. Why are there no shields? Because no one will be dumb enough to 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 try to attack it. And I'm just like, is that just a lazy way for you to get in and eventually them to get out? The answer is yes. So anyway, they go forward with the plan. They use Tala's Imperial clearance. Again, no shields. Obi is shown struggling to, like, he's trying to pull a little screw or whatever. Tala says things take time. I'm just like, okay, well, he'll, through the course of the series, work on his force powers. That's another thing. Anyway, so Leia is being interrogated by Reva. So I'm not sure why this is happening, because now we don't know why Reva knows about Leia's father and Obi-Wan at all. But now Reva is acting as if Leia knows about the rebels, then she really should. At this stage in her life, she was only saved by Obi-Wan and met Tala, and that's it. So maybe we're talking about, like, what, 1 or 2 days that she's only known of them. Who knows if rebel talk happens in her family? This eventually Reva, will torture, or will start to try to torture Leia. That doesn't happen. But this whole segment is, nothing comes of it. The Reva actress is just not very menacing, and it just doesn't work. Anyway, so Tala gets in. There's a little security officer, and she argues with him, intimidates him. And even if, she's like, I'm your commanding officer, even if she wasn't, why wouldn't he get his actual commanding officer? Also, more people are just standing there. They see this happen, and then nothing comes of it. So Tala gets into security, whatever. She sits next to, I think it's, I didn't write it down, like 4 or 5 people. Tries to whisper Obi-Wan to Obi-Wan here in a comm. And Obi-Wan just swims into this ground entrance, which I guess there could be ships, but there's just easy access door. Again, who would break in? He would. And there's only one stormtrooper there. Obi-Wan takes him out. Of course, I think he kills him, puts him in the water. Anyway, Reva, wasting her time with Leia still. She is trying to pull information out of her head. And it's not working. Now, Reva's job is to find Force-sensitive people, children. And either Leia is faking about how painful it is, or she's Force-sensitive and blocking it. So she either has no information, or she's strong enough for the Force. If she's Force-sensitive, Reva should be keeping her to do whatever the Inquisitor steps are, either getting rid of her or turning her into an Inquisitor. How cool would that be? But that just drop it. The only people that we've seen stop Force stuff is Sebulba and Rey, and I'm like, what? They just kind of let that slide. Anyway, Obi is sneaking around. Tala is helping her. Tala is overheard by other people. She gets questioned by a guy. He takes her away, and then ever so silently, she takes him out. Again, they're the five. I think there's 6 total seats. At least 4 people. They go behind this block. There's chair, long table. Back behind here, there's this big block, and they go right behind there, and she takes him out. It takes a couple minutes, but there's absolutely no sound. When I saw this, I couldn't understand what was happening, because it was why was it so quiet? And nobody else saw the fight, or nobody else saw the guy's body after the fact. I counted it, 4 other people in the room, and the communication device is just sitting there. Obi-Wan is talking into it, and Tala just leaves him there. And then I think later on, people in that room leave, and then just nothing comes about this. There's just so many people that like this show. Can you defend everything I've just said? And I can't stand the defense of, well, other shows and movies had problems. That doesn't make this better. You just are trying to relate 2 bad things. You have to admit that they're both bad then. Anyway, more Leia and Reva interrogation. Maury asking about things Leia doesn't know. Leia makes Reva's I can help you. Leia's okay, let me just call my dad first. I didn't get it. I thought she actually wanted to call her father to let him know that he's okay. Because I don't think Reva would even know that Bail Organa had anything to do with the rebels, right? And then I guess that was supposed to be more sass. And then Reva's alright, torture time. I'm just what? The tone is just the actors. I mean, character, the actress Leia, whatever. But why are they writing her like this? I don't know. I don't have a 10-year-old daughter, so I have no idea. Anyway, So they take her to the torture chamber. Obi is actually, I don't know if he knows that they're there, but he's going down this corridor and they're either dead or stuck in, what is it, amber, like the Jurassic Park people? Jedi, we think. There is one Jedi from Clone Wars. So I'm not going to look up his name. No, the only problem, there is a youngling. And it's like, has he been there since Order 66? Was he alive? He still had the helmet, so that means he has maybe been there for 10 years. Otherwise, he's been walking around with that helmet on. Or some other kid with that helmet on. It like doesn't, unless he was captured alive, it doesn't make sense with the timeline. So either everybody is still alive in there, or they have passed. But if they're dead, why are they making that face as if they were frozen on the spot? I don't know. Anyways, luckily, Obi hears Leia screaming down the hallway. So that means the torture chamber and the frozen people chamber are right down the hall from each other. Anyway, luckily, Tala calls for Reva as a distraction. So, now when this happens, I didn't write notes on this. So, kind of a cool scene. Obi breaks into the torture place where Leia still is. 2 stormtroopers, the lights go out, and he sneaks up on him. On one, cuts him. Why don't lightsabers actually cut anything? It is supposed to be the hottest material, and it should like just chop this stormtrooper in half. But then he sneaks up on the other one. Why didn't the second stormtrooper see the light and hear where it's coming from? Because it happens like to his right, and then he's like, where was that sound? Just like to your right. And they should have seen a bright blue light next to you. Oh man. Anyway, so Obi gets Leia. Tala and Reva meet. Reva is sniffing out that Tala could be bad, and so that was kind of intense. And I thought, okay, well, this is where Tala's gonna die. Like Reva's gonna sniff it out. Obi's gonna have to get away without Tala. But Reva just says, "Oh, off with her for interrogation, torture." And it's not even, they don't even go that far away. They get right into the hallway. Tala, like, I forget which one she hits first, but she slaps the helmet of one of the stormtroopers. At this point, I'm just like, what are the point? What's the point of your helmet? Slaps one, grabs the gun of the other, and takes them both down, of course. So she meets up with Leia and Obi-Wan, which is kind of cool to see again, like it was in Rebels and Clone Wars, like baseball batting lasers. Stormtroopers are in a hallway. One ricochets against the window in the water. He's holding it back. Now, I don't understand how his force, he doesn't even like, I would accept the jump and skill, but show him straining more, because it starts cracking. He's just like, got it. And then he holds it until the bad guys come in the hallway, and he's just like, boo. He also runs in slow motion. but man, he just kind of trots out, and so I guess he has gotten most of his force powers back. Like, show him like, like I can, like, in a panicked state, like like a mother picking up a car off their kid, panic state, I have to hold this back to save my friends. But now he's just like, nah, got it, guys. Go on ahead. I got this. Pew. Shot on out. Oh, man. Anyway. Oh, so then they're leaving into the hangar. Oh, and it's after they close the doors from the water. They immediately squat down, get some clothes, or for Obi-Wan, a trench coat. And I thought, that he was gonna like maybe hook Leia on, and these are acceptable as a backpack, like a boom, like there's a bump there, whatever. Or like in, seriously, I feel like they did this in Rebels like 20 times. Like put her in a container and she's tiny and just like walk out with something. But neither of those options. You have Obi-Wan, which everyone should have his face plastered everywhere. It's like text messages don't exist. I guess there's a galaxy far, far away. Face recognition anywhere. All these people walking past him, he just has Leia next to her with her legs dangling out and her little head pops out once. I'm just like, come on. But they make it like they show Tala take all this time to get to where the communication room was. And then in all that walking back, no one either saw Obi-Wan's face or saw these little legs. And it wasn't until they almost make it out and Reva finds them. And then everyone's like, oh. That was like someone, I don't know. People, you can find highlights in this show. But I feel like if some moments are so bad, then it kind of just like throws everything out the window. Because like someone agreed to that. Someone agreed that that was an acceptable element in the story. I'm like, I watched this like 4 weeks ago and now it's coming back. Anyway, it's okay. The snow speeders are coming to save him. Reva is blocking blasters, but it's not like pew, 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 pew. She's like kind of doing this flourish unnecessarily. It just doesn't look good. And snow speeders save them. They jump into one. They start getting away. Wade is there. As soon as he said, "I'll hang back. You guys get out." I'm like, "You're dead." And then one of the brothers has to tell Reva to stop them, but he hasn't done anything. And so Reva does something that he should have done and throws a explosion at Wade. Other pilots like, "Wade!" And everyone in the world, I'm sure, was like, "Who? What? Who? Who cares?" So they get away. Vader comes in. Like, shout out to JRJ. No, wait, JEJ. Wow. James Earl Jones. Glad he's still around, but he's like, "You were warned what failure would bring." And Reva's, I was like, oh. But also know that, well, there's 2 more episodes. He's not going to kill her. And I've never seen someone, well, you could say episode 4, but getting, force choked and able to talk. I don't know. You could probably look something up to combat me. Also, Vader like instantly snapped the kid's neck, but he's kind of like lit Reva, force choke, long enough for her to say, "I put a tracker on him." So either Reva did that as a just in case, or she somehow knew that that they would get away. This is Leia's little droid called Lola, and her. And then Vader's like, "All right, well, okay, sure." So then they show Obi and Leia leaving, and they're holding hands, but then little Lola, red eyes, like what? Like turn the red eyes off, and no one will know. But Leia fixes it later. Don't worry. And, what I was gonna say is that in this entire series, Vader, it's kind of hard to mess up because it's just a guy, just some beast in a black suit with that James Earl Jones voice. But Vader's presence, very menacing, but his logic is just like thrown out the window. You know, he let Obi-Wan get away before, and someone made a comment like, "Okay, well, if you have the tracker, if Reva keeps messing up, then why do you need her still? And why is Vader, you know, him letting Obi-Wan get away, inexcusable?" So that's it. That's episode 4. I don't know if I want to talk about the other episodes because that means I have to rewatch them and kind of give a little spiel about each. I was just going to review the series and get it out of the way in one lump sum. I did half for the 3 episodes at the halfway point. I thought about doing that again. I thought 4 was bad, and I thought 5 was logically just as bad. Talk about Vader being illogical. Episode 5 was awful. A lot of, just like the mechanics of the show are just awful. But that's it for now. I'll have to, if I review that, I have to rewatch that. So Disney, you get more of my money. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the series. I was let down. Even less logic in episode 5 by Vader. Bye bye.